Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course, Stylized 3Ds Model, and this is where we left it off. Alright, so now let's go back to modeling because we'll be able to see a little bit better about what we're doing. And then what we'll do is now we'll steal this wall, and I'm going to press Shift D. I'm going to bring it over, pull it up, put that into place, so press S. Drop it into place like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out, so S and X, pull it out like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift D. Rotate it round, so RZ 90, and then drop this into place where we want it, so something like that. I'm probably going to come in as well because I hate wasted UV. All of this in the back of here would be wasted UV, so it's important that we don't waste too much UV, because even though we're using seamless textures, it's still part of the render, you know, it being back here, so it still costs a little tiny bit of something, but those little bits of something actually add up. So what I'm going to do is put in this, I'm going to come, edge select, grab this edge, pull it back without proportional editing on, like so. Alright, that's that bit. Now let's press Shift D, bring it up, like so, and I actually want it to come to round about here, so I'm going to pull it this way a little bit. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring this down. So I'm going to grab this, bring it down, and then I'm going to come, vertex select, global, and bring this one down as well, like so. All right, that's all done. Now we just need to transfer those over to the other side. So I'm going to grab all these, Shift D, bring them over to the other side, like so. And then grab all of these then. And what I'm going to do now is press Tab, A, U, and unwrap. Let's try unwrapping them. There we go. They look fine. They look fine. Everything looks fine on there. So that's looking pretty nice. Let's have a look round. And I'm thinking all we need now is the parts that are going to go underneath here. All right, so let's make those. So we'll just have some little struts that are going to actually come kind of rounded and hold this into place. And the way that I'm going to do it is I'll grab this part here, press Shift S, cursor selected, Shift A, and then I'm going to bring in a cylinder, and I'm going to bring the cylinder down something like 12, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this round now, so R, Y, 90, that then is facing pretty much the right way as well. I want it, so I can see here that it's going to be coming round here as you see, so S and Z, so this will be where the end of it is, and it'll curve round here in some way. Alright, so we've got that pretty much set out, so what I'll do is you'll delete the front and the back. So delete faces, and then we're going to delete this part. And we're going to delete everything from here then. So this part going all the way around to here. So control click, delete faces. We should be left with something like that. Now I can take this X-ray off, and then what I can do is I can grab it, S and X, pull it in like so. And then what I want to do now is I want a couple more edge loops, because we can see it's not rounded enough. So what I'm going to do is Control R, left click, right click, Control R, left click, right click, grab this one, and then just have a little bit more of a bend there, as you can see. Now I'm still not sure actually if this one's making a little bit smaller, because this should really be coming down here. So I'm not actually sure how I actually want this yet. So I'm just going to pull this out and put it down to, let's say, the bottom of there, like so. Let's straighten this up. So we're going to press 3. Make sure this is relatively straight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in another few edge loops. So Control R, 3, left click, right click, grab this one. So 3, let's go to side view, and let's have it actually bending out a little bit more like so. Now let's give this some actual depth, and then we can really see what we're actually doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Tab, Control A, all transforms, set origin to geometry, and then what we're going to do is generate, solidify, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, making sure even thickness is on, and also making sure that this now has a straight bit coming out. So in other words, if I come in, make sure I'm on edge select and grab this front edge, so this one here, press 3 again, and then E and Y, and follow that along. That is what I want. So I want it to look something like this. Now, of course, it's not actually in the wall, so I need it to go into the actual wall. So something like that you can see would be in the wall. Now, this is the point where I was on about. where you can put it on the front, but it has to have something that's going to be supporting it on this side. So it's going to have another block going across here, which might not work out for our piece of wood here. So I'm thinking it might be better off if we put it back here, like so, and then pull this part out. So now I can pull this part out, like so, and I'm thinking that's probably going to be much better like that. Now all I need to do is I just need to think about this bottom bit. So I'm going to put my X-ray on. I'm going to come in and delete this one and this one. So delete faces. You can see it's not altered here at all. And then what we can do now is we can actually work with this. I think I'm going to move it to the side, like so. I'm going to squish it in a little tiny bit. So S and X, just a tiny bit like so. And yeah, thinking that that's going to look pretty nice. Okay, so let's come in and apply our solidify. So Control A. Let's right click now and shade auto smooth. Let's come in now, and what we'll do is we'll also bevel it off. So add modifier once we reset all the transforms. Generate, bevel, turn the bevel down to 0, turn it up to 1. And now what we can do is we can come in, A to grab everything. Let's turn off the X-ray, we don't need it on. Mesh transform, randomize, turn it all the way down to maybe 0.1, like so. And there we go. Now let's give this some material. So what I can do is I can grab just this one here, Control L, link material. Let's come back to this now. U, Smart UV Project, click OK. And there we go. Has it actually worked? No, it's not. So let's go in, fix that. Tab, grab this one and this one, Control E, mark seam. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Alt, Shift and click along each of these edges, right click, and mark a seam. Now I'm going to grab it, press U, Smart UV, unwrap, because we've done all that. And there we go. Now, the one thing is, not too happy about how this looks. And the reason is, if we go to the shading panel and we press tab, we can see that these are bent like bananas and we don't really want that. So what I'm going to do instead is, I'm going to come in, I'm going to grab this part here, all the way up to here. So grab from here to here. Make sure you grab this one first. So it's grabbing this, control clicking this, and then U. And what you want to do instead is light matte pack. Click OK. And then I'm going to click U, follow active quads, click OK. And then I'm going to spin this round. So A, R, 90, spin this round. S and X then just to make it a little bit thinner, like so. And let's have a look at that. And there we go. You can see just how much nicer that actually looks. It's following the actual contour of the wood. Now let's do the same on this one. So we'll just quickly do it. We can copy UVs, but I'm not going to do that because I think it's good practice just to get used to doing this. So light matte pack, click OK. Again, make sure you select this one that's nearest to the seam, and then this one over here, and then U, follow active quads, click OK. And then what this is going the wrong way again. So A, R, 90, S and X, squish it in a little bit. And there we go. That's looking tons better. Now what we can do is, we've got these the right way. So all I need to do now is press Alt H, bring back everything, grab these. Let's put it on. You can put it onto material if you want, or you can do it this way. Shift D, bring it over. And then finally, all I want to do is press tab on this one, A to grab everything, A again, and then G, and just move them in a different direction. And then you'll end up with completely different wood. Now let's go back to modeling, tab, double tap the A, and there we go. That's looking pretty nice. Let's save out our work. And now what I want to do is want to work on creating this simple window. Now it is going to be a pretty simple window, but we need to make sure we're getting the sizing right first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this wall, Shift S, cursor selected, Shift A, we're going to bring in a plane, R, Y, or RX, 90, press the S button, pull it out, and I want it a little bit thinner, so S and Z, and that is going to be the size of my window. Alright, so let's actually start making our window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, reset transformations. And then what I'm going to do is I'm now going to bring in a couple of edge loops. So Control R, 2, left click, right click. I'm going to pull those out. So just make sure you're on medium point. Press 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to press S, and X and pull those out to where we want it. So I'm thinking something like that seems to be a nice size for the edges of the window. So then what you can do is if you want them perfectly, you can actually copy this down here. So you see where it says 2.208. If I press Ctrl R, 2, left click, right click, and then S and Z, like so, I can just come in now and put 2.208. And what I'll do is I'll make sure it's the same going all the way around. So pretty handy to know something like that. Now what I want to do is before I actually split all this off, I want to come in, grab the center part, and then I want to press I to bring that in like that. But before I do that, because of the fact that I need to also think about the other part of the frame that I'm doing, I want to press Ctrl R, left click, right click, Ctrl R, left click, right click, and now I can bring them in. So I'm just going to grab all of these, press the I button, and bring them in for my frame on the inside. What that means is now I've also got these, which I can use to create the actual window, the middle window part of the frame. All right, everyone. So we'll actually finish this off on the next lesson. I hope you're really enjoying it, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.